In this video, I want to show you some more ways that I use one of my favorite NINZA indicators, the volume delta. See, we've got the volume delta histogram down here. It's also printing this green dot when there's strong positive delta. So when there is not much significant delta, I've got it printing a silver color for the histogram. This is a micro NASDAQ MNQ chart. I've got it set at 200 for the moderate delta and 400 for the strong delta. And I also want to show you a way that you can use this without having to have tick replay enabled. So you can see right here, tick replay is not enabled, yet I'm getting all my historical data with the volume delta. So let me show you how to do that. Here's our volume delta indicator. Under the parameters, look at volume base. Instead of having it at bid ask price real volume, change it to up down tick unit volume. If you have that selected as your volume base, you do not have to have tick replay enabled in order to see historical bars. As you can see, I've got my settings at 400 and 200 for the strong and moderate. It's displaying the plot. So for both the plot positive week and negative week, I've got those as silver, and then I've selected my favorite colors for the moderate and the strong. For the markers, it's only printing the strong delta, so above 400 or negative 400. So this is Friday's price action at the London Open. You see nothing's going on until about 50 minutes in. We start getting some decent sized delta coming in. Very clear to see right here. I've also got the moving average crossover on this chart for NINZA. It's printing these bars green and red when price is above the 20 SMA or below the 20 SMA. I can just show you real quick here. Moving average crossover. I've got a fast EMA of 3 and a slow SMA of 20. So this really just makes it very easy to see when there is a significant amount of delta coming into the market. Here's pre-market for the morning on Friday, 6:30 a.m. We're above the 20 SMA, get some moderate positive delta coming in, nice move up. We move below the 20 SMA, get some moderate negative delta coming in, a nice move down. Still in pre-market, 7:50 a.m. We're above the 20 SMA. Moving average crossover is painting these bars green. We get some moderately positive delta being printed down on the histogram from our volume delta indicator. Getting a nice move up. Price moves below the 20 SMA. We start getting some moderate negative delta coming in. Move down a little bit. So for the Asian session and the London session, and pre-market, 400 and 200 might be a good setting for the MNQ, but for the New York Open session, I prefer to have something more like 600 for the strong and 400 for the moderate, just because there's more activity on the MNQ going on during the New York session. This is the first hour of the New York Open on Friday. We start to get a little bit of delta coming into the downside 4 minutes before the open. And then right when the market opens, we've got a strong negative delta dot. The negative delta continues, and we make it down almost 20 points from the close of this candle. Here we get some strong bullish volume delta immediately following this nice wicky candle, but coming off the heels of this big push down, not necessarily wanting to jump in right here. Here we get some moderate delta, but we're not making new lows. We're just kind of in the middle of this move lower. Get some moderate delta coming in, but we're still below the 20 SMA. Candles are still red. Here we get a close above the 20 SMA with some moderate delta, not strong delta, and we did have a push down first thing in the morning. We have not broke out of this opening 5-minute range. Here we get some more strong negative delta and a close below the 20. Price drops 10 points from there. Here we get some strong bullish delta, a nice close above the 20, get a little pullback, nice move up, get some continued moderate bullish delta coming in. We have a nice rejection off of the 20 SMA with this wicky candle here, get a little move higher. Here we've got some strong bullish delta, but look at this candle. Look at the wick on the top here. This is not a candlestick that I want to take a long entry on. You know, I want my candle to look more like this. A big full-bodied green candle to the upside. We float back down to the 20 SMA. We bounce back up because there hasn't been much negative delta to overpower this positive delta yet. However, on this candle, we close below the 20 SMA. We get a strong red delta dot. Once we cross below the 20, we make it down about 30 points. The market was in a very tight range this morning. So as you can see, I'm not just taking sells and buys when I see these dots appear. I'm factoring in a lot of other details. Learning about price action, learning about candlesticks, being aware of where price is relative to any support and resistance lines that you might be looking at. These are all things you want to account for. Hope you got some good ideas from watching. Best of luck in your trading.